Hello and welcome. It's time for another round review. That's right, round 7. It is going to be a condensed format this weekend with only 4 games across the weekend, 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday. But that's not going to stop us from getting into the ins and outs of every squad. We're going to look at the key players and what that means, the tactics of every team. And I'll give you a little prediction as well for each one. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. First game of the weekend is the Wellington Hurricanes hosting the Waratahs across the ditch, and it is going to be a battle. It's going to be a dogfight of the middle of the table. Although the Waratahs are sitting a little bit higher than the Hurricanes, nevertheless, this is really going to be the first time that they're going to test their mettle against a strong New Zealand opposition. This is going to be also following on from the Brumbies' difficulty and win in New Zealand, so against the Chiefs and also the Blues, which was historic. You've also got the Reds, who went 1 apiece against the Crusaders. They lost against the Highlanders. They won. So this is really going to continue this ongoing fight between the two trans-Tasman rivals, So we'll just get straight into the Waratahs side with Joseph Akuso Suali'i coming out of the garage, ready to go at number 13. Not a fullback like he played initially for the Waratahs, and that's where he also had his Wallabies debut. So that's going to be cracker for him and to everyone to get a look and a sense of how he's going to be playing at centre at Super Rugby Pacific. I think he said that the first game that he played a fullback was physical and tough against the Highlanders. It is only going to get stepped up against the Hurricanes in Wellington. He's partnered by the new Waratahs captain, Joey Walton, at number 12, so congrats to him. Up front, you've got Angus Bell and Tania Latupo. Hooking between them is going to be Julian Heaven. In the second row, Miles Atamasera comes back into the side after a little bit of a run as a not even on the bench. He's been out of the squad. So then you've got a pretty settled pack. It's looking really strong. Then you've also got Teddy Wilson at number 9. Still no Jake Gordon, the regular captain, who is actually, in fact, still injured. Lawson Crichton is number 10, and you've got Darby Lancaster on one wing coming back. You've got Andrew Kellaway rested. I believe he's carrying a little bit of a lower leg injury or a niggle, or maybe shoulder. Have a look at that and let me know in the comments below. And then you've also got a debut for proud Warringah Rat, Archie Saunders from the Shoot Shield on the other wing. So that's going to be really, really great. Max Jorgensen shifts back to fullback. Then you've also got on the Hurricane side, you've got Umaga Jensen in the centre, is going to be going head-to-head with the Joseph Akuso Suali'i, so that's going to be a physical battle. Then you've also got Riley Hohepa in the number 10 jersey, replacing the unfortunate injured Harry Godfrey, who was a rising star, number 10, who's been compared to a young Bowden Barrett. He has a leg complaint, which will be keeping him out for 4 to 6 weeks, unfortunately. In the battle of the second rows will definitely be going up another notch with Ben Grant and Miles Atamasera going head-to-head against Zach Gallagher, who is a rising talent in New Zealand, and that's going to be really, really exciting because I did name Gallagher as an impact player for the Hurricanes. Asafa Amoa rounds out an almost test front row, and he's going to co-captain alongside Duplessis Karifi. The front row is Tyra Lomax and Xavier Nomia. That is going to be a big challenge for Angus Bell and also Tania Latupo. Really, really good packs rounded out by Peter Lakai at number 8. Ruben Love also rounds out the entire side of fullback, so it's going to be a really good side. Brad Shields is on the bench, so it really is going to have to be an 80-minute game for both sides if they wish to claim this one. As far as a prediction goes, I do believe that the Waratahs have a good opportunity to have a dig at this game and really, really make a dogfight out of it, but I do think that the Hurricanes will be too strong at home, so the Hurricanes to win this one. The second game on Friday is the ACT Brumbies hosting the Highlanders in Canberra, and I would hate to be the Highlanders because you don't want to be playing the Brumbies at home after a frustrating loss with lots of controversial decisions from the refereeing team in last week's loss to the Waratahs. I'm not going to go into those because they have been broken down and spoken about on various podcasts throughout the week, so we don't need to go into that. What we will go into is just right now into the team. So for the Brumbies, you've got a pretty well-settled pack with Lockie Shaw coming in to the number 5 position. That's the only real major change. Then you've still got Ryan Lonergan and Noel Lucia at 9 and 10. And then you've got David Feluai coming into the number 12 jersey to add a little bit of physicality and punch. He hasn't quite been able to find his feet at the Brumbies so far, but nevertheless, this is another opportunity for him to be able to prove his worth and potentially push for that Wallabies 12 jersey, which he was so close to getting last year, but then he was in the Wallabies squad, but didn't quite finish the job off. Then on the bench, you got Liam Bowron coming on for arresting Lockie Lonergan, at hooker. And you've got Tai Tuitalima, who's coming back from a bout of dengue fever that he contracted in Fiji in round 1. Then over on the Highlanders side, you've got Vikenna at number 2, which is going to make for a physical battle for the Brumbies front row. You also got TK Howden moving to number 6 and Sean Withy moving to number 8. So that pack is looking really nice and solid with Fabian Holland at number 4 this week coming back into the starting side. As far as the halves go, they remain unchanged, and you've got Timothy Tavatavanawe alongside Thomas Umunga Jensen in the centres, which is going to make for a hell of a power combination. Tavatavanawe back at the centre where he'd been doing so well before being shifted out to the wing last weekend. Sam Gilbert rounds out the side from fullback. Like I said, as far as a prediction goes, I wouldn't want to be the Highlanders playing the Brumbies after such a controversial loss last weekend. I do think Stephen Larkham and his men will take this one and bag it, because they will need to have to start claiming all their home wins as well as some convincing away wins to be able to secure a spot in the top 2 towards the back end of the season if they want home semi-finals. So Brumbies to win this one. As I mentioned, it's a condensed format this weekend, and that means there's only 4 games, with 2 games on Friday, 2 games on Saturday, and the first game on Saturday is the Crusaders heading up to North Harbour Stadium to play Moana Pacifica, and Moana Pacifica are headlined by the return of RD7, who's the captain at number 8. You've also got Slade coming into the second row for the captain last week, Tom Savage. They do a switcheroo, Savage heading back to the bench. Apart from that, a pretty well-settled pack. In the backline, you got Tamateni at number 9, Pellegrini at number 10. And you've also got a couple of potential debutants, which is really exciting. And I believe that 13, which other name I'm forgetting at the moment, is also looking for a Super Rugby Pacific starting debut, which is really exciting. However, the big news for the Australians, at least, is on the Crusaders side of the pitch, and that is going to be James O'Connor starting at number 10 for the first time this season, with young gun Rivez Reihana making a comeback from injury via the bench. So that's really exciting. Another person who welcomes back into the fold is Jamie Hanna, who is a second row who has got massive raps on him from across the ditch, and he is touted to be an All Black some point in his career. Extremely exciting big lad. Cullen Grace is in the pack. No Cody Taylor to begin with. He slips onto the bench. And as far as the back 3 go for the Crusaders, they remain unchanged, with Levi Aumua wearing the number 23 jersey. As for the changes of Moana, you're looking at the return of Artie Sevilla at number 8. That's going to be a really big boost to the pack, who is looking pretty solid and pretty sturdy. The only big major change really is Tom Savage goes out. He captained the side last week. He goes to the bench, and then Slade goes in at number 4. So that's going to be a little bit of a switcheroo there. Tamatini at number 9, Pellegrini at number 10. Really good halves combination. And then you've also got Samisi Pea, who's named for his first start of the season. Then you've got a couple of possible debutants on the bench as well. Apart from that, the backline has seen a bit of a change, but overall you've got a lot of players there which have spent minutes in the on the side as well. But unfortunately, no Kyron Toimofalau, who is out and being rested, I believe. No injury that I'm aware of. Nevertheless, it's going to be a really exciting game for Moana, and I'm just hoping that they play a full 80-minute effort. The extremely strong side, the Crusaders have been charging into the second spot in the competition. They are red hot. I just hope that Moana play an 80-minute effort like they did the last 40 last week against, who really gave it to the Chiefs. That's really super exciting. As far as a prediction goes, I do think the Crusaders are going to be too strong traveling up to North Harbour Stadium, but nevertheless, I do hope for a really, really good game from both teams and a close result. The last and final game is the game on Saturday, which will be the Reds hosting the Western Force at Suncorp, and they will be hoping to avoid an upset like the Brumbies suffered to the Force at home a couple of rounds ago. If we start off with the Reds, it's some big changes. So Lukan Solokai-Loto starts for the first time this season for the Reds since he made his return to the club from the Melbourne Rebels. Alex Hodgman gets a start after his stellar impact last week, which really helped turn the momentum against the Highlanders in Dunedin. Then you've also got Massimo DeLutis, who starts alongside him, alongside Richie Asiata, with Wallaby and Josh Nasser back from injury via the bench. Ryan Smith takes the captain armband in the second row, with Joe Bryant making his Joe Bryle, is making his spot at number 8 felt, with Harry Wilson rested and John Bryant at number 7 still for the injured Fraser McWright, with Seru Uru at number 6. Kalani Thomas retains his spot ahead of Tate McDermott, which now comes back via the bench. And then you've also got a pretty settled back line, along with Dre Pakiho and Harry McLaughlin-Phillips on the bench. Tom Liner steering the ship from number 10. As far as the Western Force are concerned, they have an extremely strong side, really highlighted by the return of Dylan Peach. That's going to be super exciting because he is a man who gets them on the front foot and makes sure that they're always getting over the gain line, which is going to be super important in this game, which is I do think that the powered, bulked up pack of the Western Force, Jeremy Williams, Darcy Swain in the second row, Nick Chapman Crespi at number 8, Tizano number 7, and you've also got Will Harris at number 6. Power, Marley Pierce, who has been doing epic in your fantasy stats for you in the running meters. He comes in to start at number 1. Overall, it's a pretty well settled side with Pazitoa in the 23 jersey to round out the side. Ryan Coxon on the bench as well to add a little bit of scrummaging power. As far as a prediction goes for this game, I do think it's going to be a tough one to call, but nevertheless, I think it's really exciting that the Force have a genuine opportunity to have a dig at the Reds. They've brought their stronger side. They're hoping to cause an upset. The Reds are a little bit unsettled. It's going to come down to the wire, but I have to believe that Les Kiss, who's being touted as the favorite candidate for the Wallabies jersey, has a plan for this weekend, and so I think they will just scrape through at home. Had this been played in the Forces territory at HBF Park, I do reckon that it would probably go the Force way, because that's just how good the Western Force have been looking. That's a wrap on the weekend's preview. I'm super excited. Stay tuned for the analysis, which is going to be on the Sunday video this week. And always, guys, I appreciate the like, share, subscribe. Let's try to spread the game of rugby as big as you can. And any subscribe that you like that you give me really helps me to grow the channel. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy the condensed weekend, albeit of Super Rugby Pacific here down in the Pacific. But I do hope you also just enjoy your weekend. Watch lots of rugby, get amongst it, and I'll be there with you.